Hi everybody, I'm Mr. Anime, and today I'll be re-reviewing the first Inuyasha movie, Affections Touching Across Time. As far as affections touching across time goes, there's plenty of affections that touch across time in this movie, but there's some affections that don't. I was instantly affected emotionally with disgust as the opening menu hit me. It was a very terrible CGI, but I'm not going to discount from that from the movie. The movie starts with a basic recap of the entire story of the Shikan jewel being shattered, kind of like the jewel explodes in the air and the whole, if you ever played Mario RPG with the Legend of the Seven Stars, how the stars fall and you have to go get them. They try to recap and make it to where first-time goers can actually watch this movie. After the recap is done and all the voiceovers and getting everyone used to all of it, we're introduced to the main villain, Minomaru, which is accompanied by a bunch of moths. However, I cannot deny Minomaru's power in the opening battle scene that he had with Inuyasha. He completely whooped his ass. He could have killed him. He had the sword up to him. Anyway, as Minomaru starts to take power and starts to steal everyone's souls, things start to go wrong. With all the jokes aside, though, the Inuyasha movie delivers a solid performance with the animation. The music's a weak spot because it's the same music from the episodes. Well, what is that shit? Affections Touching Across Time, however, does have its quiet moments. There's a scene where the wind is blowing the great tree, and the grandpa's watching all the leaves and all the flower buds fall from the sky, and he's like, oh my god, I can't believe they're already being blown away from the tree. It's been 500 years since the tree bloomed, and then they're all getting blown away. And as the snow is falling, it was a very quiet scene where the grandpa was looking up at the tree, and the way that the camera followed through the whistling branches as they swayed back and forth in the snow and the wind. It was a very short scene, but I liked that scene a lot. And it's funny because that scene really has nothing to do with the story. It's just added in there to take up the time. But I liked it. Ooh, the grandpa. Speaking of the grandpa, I think he is especially hilarious. I've always loved Kagome's grandpa. He's just so fucking ridiculous. And Kagome's mom is obviously on pills. Because whenever Kagome's like, Mom, I'm going back to the feudal era. Okay, honey. You do what you have to do. Kikyo and Shishomaru you see a little bit of in the movie, but as my complaint that I think I mentioned in the last review, when I did this review the first time, I wish you saw more Kikyo, I wish you saw more Shishomaru. They're interesting characters, but, Rimiko Takahashi added so many characters to Inuyasha, you really can't get your fill on all of them because people like different ones. Me personally, I'm a Shishomaru fan, I think he's badass. If he was real, I'd be like, what's up, man? But he probably wouldn't let me touch him because I'm a human. So, as the movie draws to a close and Minomaru starts to steal everyone's soul in the world, in fact, he's like, I'm going to steal everyone's soul in the world, and he basically does. They don't really explain if the souls get, taken back to everybody. I assume they do. So, Minomaru's final form was laughable. Butterfly wings, and he didn't do anything powerful. He just sat there and he was like, I'm powerful. Okay. So all in all, though I had a good time poking fun, Affections Touching Across Time I thought was an enjoyable watch, and I thought it was an enjoyable movie. I enjoyed it so much more than I did the first time I went through it, and I don't know why. I just finished watching the movie, and I really liked it. I didn't really like it to the point where I'm going to give it something above like a 7 out of 10, but I did like it enough to where I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. So, that is my rating for the Inuyasha first movie, and I will see you hopefully sometime next week for the Castle Beyond the Looking Glass review.